Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Today's video, I think, is going to be one of those moments where your recommendation totally blows my mind. And that's because today's song that we're going to deep dive into is a new combo of genres that I've never heard before, combining Indian folk music and heavy metal, together called Indian street metal. I have no idea what to expect, so let's get to it.
That is the daisy grind, taught to battle with my fists as much as my mind said. Oh, if you hear, you know, we got more drama than HBO. And fuck front row seats with the show. So step into the scene if you're ready to go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Show us what you got. Are you ready now? Show us what you got. We're gonna show you what we got. We're Indian, so you know we make it hot.
I love that last line. We're Indian, so you know we make it hot. Oh man, I love some of the spices in Indian food, so that was a great line, particularly. But I'm fascinated by many of those folk elements that they brought into the music here. And first of all, just the beat that we're hearing from a drum. It's a double-sided drum. I'm not sure what the name of it is. Let me know in comments, please, what that name is. I'm sure there's a very specific one. But the way that the drum is being played, there's got a swing beat sort of that's happening. Duck, 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 instead of da 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 da. It's got almost like a triplet feel that can happen underneath it. Makes it feel a little bit swung. Very common, of course, in Indian folk music to have that feeling. Very dance-like too. And then there's also a really cool whistle that's being played. I don't know if that's also an Indian folk instrument. I think it is, but it just kind of also looks like an Irish tin whistle. So anyhow, that's kind of cool to hear those combine together. And then when we had that moment of entering into the heavy metal where you had a lot more rush of sound hit, I loved that just generation of energy that happened. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and talk about a few more of the really cool things here. There's also another Indian instrument that's in the background that has more, almost a more nasalish sound or a reedy sound to it, where it has also some more bending of the pitch. I really like the combination of instruments here. It's going that one. I like the build of the swing beat in here. Yeah, that drum right there. Let me know in comments if you know what the name of that drum is.
That is the daisy grind, taught to battle with my fists as much as my mind said. Oh, if you hear, you know, we got more drama than HBO. And fuck front row seats with the show. So step into the scene if you're ready to go. Are you ready? Are you ready?
Okay, back to this.
Seats with the show. So step
that instrument. That's the other one I was looking for. I'm not sure if that's just a whistle, like a tin whistle, or if that's a specific Indian instrument. So again, let me know about that one too. This is cool.
The scene if you're ready to go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Show us what you got. Are you ready now? Show us what you got. We're gonna show you what we got. We're Indian, so you know we make it hot.
Ooh. So we have three main guys that are involved with this music right now. There's Raoul, who is doing the rap vocals, and I think that he's a guest artist on this one. It says it's featuring Raoul. So, and then you have Jayant. I'm not sure if I'm saying that totally correctly. Jayant, who's this guy who is doing vocals. It sounds like both harsh and they're clean ones, but they have some distortion in them too. And then we also have the guy that was playing the whistle thing. His name is Karan, and it's awesome to hear actually a ton of different music that's happening within all of this, because that's just three guys that are making all of these sounds up together. I like the way that Raoul's voice initially really helped us get into this groove, right? The rap is cool. He had some really great lines, especially in that. And then Jayant's voice, it's got so much power in it. Really made me feel all kinds of lovely shivers of, oh, wow, this guy has got a heavy message, and the way that he has vocals that are made with a tone, so there's actually pitch defined, but then he adds distortion on top, and then sometimes has just complete distortion going on with the harsh vocals is really cool. It's a good combination. Whoa. Whoa. Oh, cool. Whoa. He's got some really cool sounds that he's weaving in with this, all within the harsh vocals too. I dig the way that Karan is totally jamming out on that whistle, I think in the middle of a park. He's having the best time. It's really fun. Really fun. Also want to talk a little bit about there was a line in here. I love the way that they're combining English and I think it's Punjabi, I think is the dialect that's being spoken here. Like that it comes back to this message that besides all differences, we are one. So it feels like it's a song that's about diversity, but also unity at the same time, which is really cool, really great message. And I think also really applies to a lot of music in India. There's so many different kinds of Indian folk music. It's very much diversified by different regions. So it could be that they're pulling different kinds of folk elements from different regions. I'm not exactly sure. I know that this song was originally a folk song, and then I think another band did it, and this is a cover of that band's version. So again, it's got this really, really deep history in folk music, which is cool. I'm gonna go back. Karan's just having the best time. Whoa. Whoa.
Make no mistake, this is an attack. Can't take it, won't take it, now we about to hit back. Click, clack, lock and load, got to hit the road, enough is enough. Shit's about to get rough. You know it's bad when you gotta fight for peace, but the cure always needs a bit of the disease. Came out swinging from the belly of the beast, gonna bridge the gap between west and east. North and south, man, ain't no doubt. Gonna give them a war like never before. Hearts full of love, saying fuck you, fool. Undivided we stand, together we're
I'm impressed by the lyrics and the way he keeps coming back to this idea of like east and west, north and south. That it's essentially he's talking about the division, but then saying at the end, "Together we rule." It just really dig that messaging. It's very powerfully delivered too. The way that Raoul is walking straight towards the camera the whole time, face on. He's got a ton of charisma in his delivery. And the way that it is so open in the presentation and dead straight also gives us a lot of confidence and an impression that he is 100% dedicated to this message. I really think that this filming of him, where you see him with all of these moves straight on, was a great decision.
Swinging from the belly of the beast, gonna bridge the gap between west and east, north and south, man, ain't no doubt, gonna give him a war like never before. Hearts full of love, saying fuck you fool, undivided we stand, together we
Is it really normal to just ride animals through roads and street markets? I don't know. I've never been. But I'm very curious right now. There are a lot of looks, like you see the looks here that are happening that are like, what you doing with that horse, man? And I mean, obviously he's doing a great job of singing the song probably with a speaker nearby. We don't have a microphone that's on him, so we know that this is a music video that is not taking the sound from what he's singing on top of the horse right now, right? In case you weren't sure of that, that is a thing. And I want to go back because I keep, let's go to that. There's a moment. Here we go. This camel has got a really bobby kind of walk going on. And I'm wondering, does that make it difficult to play the guitar? We've got, and the camel looks really chill. I wonder if camels are always chill despite guitars. But anyhow, I was very curious, is it hard to play a guitar while riding a camel because of the bob in particular? I don't know. Very, very curious. Interesting combination of pitch centers here with the harsh vocals. You have moments where it is higher, lower, and mid, essentially, that I'm picking out. And when it's the really, really low ones, I think that that's going to be definitely implying some of the false vocal folds in there. It sounds like there's a lot more space in the vocal tract as well to help enhance some of those lower sounds. And then when he shifts it higher, I would guess that there's probably a little more constriction within the top of the vocal tract to help that sound as well. Oh, that's the low one right there. And that's higher. And you get a low in there. Oh, that's the high. So we started out with some mids, and then there was a low, and then there was a high that sounds like, yeah, that sounds like a little more upper constriction of the vocal tract to me, but I'd have to see inside of his throat to know for sure. Ooh, that was cool. I want to go back just a little bit. So part of what makes this so cool is that we have all of the instruments that have dropped out right here, of course, right? So it's just like, whoa, this sound happened and then it was gone. So that moment is awesome. But one of the things that also makes it really cool is there's the way it's been spatialized. So the way that the sound has been set within sort of a 360 degree around the head. And it almost sounds like it's coming from sides and even just a little bit back at that point, whereas the main vocal has been center, which is very typical for a main vocal to be center. Maybe even have some stuff that's spreading out a little bit to support that coming straight down the center. So that visualization of where the sound is coming from almost feels like it's rushing up from behind and the sides there. Really cool. Just a camel on the street, no biggie, wow wow. Ooh, ooh. There we go. There is that instrument I was hearing earlier, and it sounded less reedy than before. It sounded more stringy, it is a string. That's interesting. I'm counting maybe 3 strings on that, but it's bowed. It sounds kind of similar to a Chinese erhu. Ah, interesting sound. And that would make sense, a lot of sense for how it's able to bend the pitch so well too. Strings can bend pitch very easily. Ooh. I love this. Diversity is a gift. Yes, thank you very much. And also, I love the diversity of musical instruments in this. It's so cool. That combination of sounds in that section was so glorious. I love it when we get combinations of musical sounds like this. Where we have that string instrument is soaring up over everything, and we've had this constant rhythm going the whole time that's been driving the piece, makes it feel very danceable, like you want to clap along or dance along the whole time. And then the energy from the metal instruments essentially coming in there in the way that gives us a huge lift at the same time. I like this huge soundscape that's created. It's a great combo. Ooh. Wait, I think that's the end officially. We're going to watch all the way until the end a little bit. Good play out on that.
Hi guys, this is Karan from Bloodywood. If you like our stuff, hit that subscribe button. Check out the rest.
I'm totally gonna subscribe to them and check out more of their music. This is super fun, and I love the outro with the dog at the end. I love how this genre combo just works. It makes me want to bob my head. It makes me want to dance along. It feels both uplifting and driven at the same time. Very, very fun. And I also really loved the delivery over all of it. It reminds me a little bit of the first time I think I heard folk music and metal combining, which was with The Who combining some Mongolian folk music in there. That was super cool. If you want to check that video out, it is over here. Thank you so much for this recommendation, and see you soon.